No, 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 no. Not this again. Not that. Anything but that. Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be reviewing the final episode of The Myth Makers, which is called Horse of Destruction. Interesting title. Yeah, I think it's a good wrap up to this story. A lot of serious stuff here. The loose cannon reconstruction, I also have to give credit, is really good here. It takes some nice liberties with the way it does kind of the shaky cam and adding in smoke effects, adding in some effects of like some of the shots. I don't know if they're from the story or if they're just been recreated for the story, like people coming out of the Trojan horse. Of course, that shot of the city with the smoke is really good. We have a few snippets from the actual story, like a little bit of Hartnell's speech at the end. Again, I've got to give credit. I like the guy playing Odysseus here. It's interesting because I've seen other shows and movies where a lot of the characters from the Trojan War are portrayed in a more heroic light, like Odysseus and Achilles and Hector and Agamemnon. You know, I've seen these people portrayed as more heroic, so it's interesting to see them as less, you know, people fantasizing about them and making them out to be good people, and they're more down to earth, gritty, how actual humans probably were. And I enjoy that. Like, Odysseus isn't this very much heroic character. He's very much there for his slice of the pie. The actor does a good job communicating that. Plus, the actual writing does a good job getting that across. The doctor really needs to learn when to keep his mouth shut sometimes when he's getting on to Odysseus about, you need to let me out of here, I'm leaving now. And Odysseus is like, look, one more word, I'm going to kill you. And that finally quiets the first doctor down. I did love that bit at the end when everything goes to pot and the sister, the King Priam's, however you say it, his daughter is basically telling Odysseus, you know, 10 years you've been at this war and it'll be another 10 years before you get home, which is an accurate prophecy. She actually is pretty good at doing prophecies, to give her credit. I mean, God knows I wouldn't want to be married to the woman because she'll never mow the lawn, ever. But she's pretty good with her predictions. And that's actually true because she's basically predicting the events of the Odyssey when it takes Odysseus 10 years to get home to his family. So that's some nice little like foreshadowing of what, you know, Homer's story, the Odyssey. I like that. I enjoyed that. Makes you kind of wonder what happens to Paris and Priam there. I mean, we know what happens, but we don't actually see it on screen. We just basically see them get captured and we don't see them again. It's a nice little, I think it's a pretty decent exit for Vicky. I mean, I know the companion falling in love thing, especially the female companion falling in love, is a little tropey, but at least there was some development of that in the story, especially with episode 3. We got to see them bonding. We got to see a lot of them bonding in episode 4, even though, man, Troilus is just, you just want to smack him over how love-struck he is. But, I mean, I get it. I've been 17, but Cressida. I'm sitting there going, you just want to smack him. And then there's that one part when Vicky manages to get him outside the city so he won't get killed. And, of course, he runs into Achilles. And, of course, he wants to fight Achilles since Achilles killed his brother Hector. And they start to duel. And first off, the dueling is a little rough just because, again, it's all telesnap reconstruction. So it's really hard to interpret fights. But that's not the worst part. I started watching it, and right when the fight starts, that music started again. The worst incidental music in all of Doctor Who, rivaling the Ballad of Johnny Ringo. It started again, and my first reaction was, No, 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 no. Not this again. Not that. Anything but that. Oh, if you saw my review for part 1, you know I absolutely hated the first 2.5 minutes of the Mythmakers. Because that music, when they're dueling, is perm, 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 perm. Oh. It was awful. It was awful. Awful, awful. Luckily, it doesn't last long here, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because 2 seconds into that starting to play again, I was clicking the pause button going, I have to mentally prepare for this music, because it's awful. But luckily it doesn't last long. It's like a minute. And it doesn't just do the a couple of times, the whole time. It has some other really stupid music it does too. Like the music feels like it belongs in a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like seriously, it seems like Looney Tunes music. It does not fit a Greek and a Trojan dueling. It just doesn't. But luckily, again, it's only like a minute long, I think, something like that. And plus I was fully into watching a Telesnap Recon 60s mode. So it didn't really bother me as much. I got through it a lot better than I thought I was going to get through it. Let's put it that way. And once it was over, I was, okay, let's continue on. It does a pretty good job of, I feel like Katarina's just kind of forced in there. We don't really get a lot of backstory on her, although we do get nice prophecy about her dying, which is interesting foreshadowing for Master Plan, because I know she dies in Master Plan. So some interesting foreshadowing there, but she just kind of feels shoehorned in, really, to be honest. And then the Doctor's little speech at the end where some of the footage survives is really nice. Mythmakers as a whole, I like it. I enjoyed the novelization of it. I enjoyed the episodes. It's not essential Doctor Who. And it's, of course, hard to say what it would actually be like since it's completely missing, but just going by the Telesnap reconstruction and the audio, it's fine. It's got some nice comedic beats in it. It's got some really bad incidental music in it. And it's got some good performances in it. Love the guy playing Odysseus. Love the guy playing King Priam. He's really good. Pulls off that part well. And the guy playing Paris is okay. And the woman playing Paris' sister, the seer or whatever she is, she's great. I like her. The actress is great. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's another one I can tick off the list. That's always nice. So, The Mythmakers, what do you think of it? If you've read the novelization, what do you think of that? And which one do you prefer? Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. That helps me out. And I certainly appreciate it. I am closing in on 1,000 subscribers. That is my goal for 2023. So I certainly would appreciate you clicking that subscribe button if you enjoy my content. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up as well. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm, the dreaded YouTube algorithm. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me that way. There's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support. As I do the support of all of my patrons, it really does make a difference, and I really do appreciate it. I have a P.O. box down there as well if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review, and a link to my Amazon wish list is also down there. And I've started another channel recently called Geek Speak Euphoria, where I talk about all things pop culture, I guess, non-sci-fi stuff, like superhero stuff, video game stuff. Just if y'all want to hear me talk about other things, that's there as well. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.